Well, welcome everyone to our webinar. My name is Lloyd Campbell. I'm the Assistant Rotary Coordinator for 5950, 5960, and 5580. And I want to thank everyone for attending our webinar today. Now, this is a series of a once-a-month webinar. This is our second one. And our purpose here today is to, which is a simple one, is to talk about how we can increase membership. Now, when we talk about increasing membership, we usually talk about two things. One is simply attracting people to our organization. And the second one is retention, how we keep them in our organization. Now, that is going to be the title of the things that we talk about for probably the next few months, because when you look at the statistics, we have no problem attracting people to our organization. Our concern seems to be keeping these folks. And what we plan to do at each one of these webinars is to have an actionable task so that when you leave this webinar, if you use what we talk about, you can see some impact in membership. So first, again, I want to thank everyone for being here today. And so let's get going here. It seems as though so far we have 79 people coming in, and I'm going to ask Alec to do me a small favor and let the folks in for a few seconds here.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, Alec, I'm going to actually turn this over to you and just give us a brief overview of what we should expect. And I will start letting folks in.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Lloyd. We have him, we'll take his spotlight off. Hello, everybody. This is Alex Johnson. I'm the Rotary Coordinator, and thank you to our second monthly webinar. I kind of want to start this off. Let's talk about how Rotary did. A lot of people may not know this. I think the slide is up there. We as an organization lost 12,600 members. And it kind of tells you why we're doing what we're doing. Our zone pair, we lost about 1,500 members. 21 out of 23 districts lost members. Now, I do want to congratulate District 5840, San Antonio. They gained members. Let's give them a hand, everybody. And District 5630, Nebraska, they also gained members, the two. So those are our two top districts last year. But you notice what the theme here is, we lost members. And that's what Lloyd talked about. We always talk about getting new members, but if we don't lose members, it really is, that's the majority of the battle. So that's kind of Rotary in general. Now I want to ask you some questions. You as your club, do you guys have a retention issue? Do I see any shaking of heads here? Anybody have a retention issue in your club? Or are you losing members more than they gain? I think we kind of know these are some common issues here. You know, the real question is, do you want to end this Rotary year at a net zero or more? That's kind of what we're shooting for. We want to help our clubs get to at least net zero or more. It's really easy to say, oh yeah, we're gonna have the best year ever, but it's not happening. And so we're trying to provide some practical tools that you can use at the club level in order to actually do that. I mean, honestly, everybody, I work with every district and I tell them, if you implement a Rotary membership Olympics, you will solve your club problems. Now, the question is, why do I say that? Why am I so confident? Well, what it does is it helps increase your membership levels in your club when you go through the 7 games. As we go through this webinar, we're going to have some subject matter expert talk about the details of it. You know, you also can discover best practices at the club level. That, as we all know, Rotary starts at the club level. Then it also lets you be focused on your members, so you keep them excited, engaged. Then you create a club that develops lasting personal relationships. We say this stuff often, but the challenge is clubs don't know what to do. Has anybody encountered that? You don't know what to do in order to make this happen? Do I see any shaking of heads, or does everybody know what to do? So we hear from a lot of clubs, they don't know what to do. So we want to give you some very practical activities of how you can help your club. And we do that through this Membership Olympics. So today, what we're going to have next is, anybody know Pam Blankenship? She is what I would say probably the public image guru in Rotary. Well, today's her birthday. For those that don't know, this is Pam's birthday. So if you know her, text her, email, leave her a birthday message. That's why she is not going to be here with us live, family first. So we're going to have Pam actually has prepared us some really comprehensive videos about the Membership Olympics and why we do it and how you're going to be able to set it up. So I will turn it over to my friend Lloyd, and I assume you're going to start Pam's video.
Okay, then. Can we all see that? Okay.
Yes.
No, it's not clear.
Good evening. My name is Pam Blankenship, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Membership Olympics. So a little bit of background about who I am and what I do. I work for 3 districts, 5840, 5870, and 5810 as their website admin, newsletter editor, and their social media director. So a few years back, I was struggling getting content for my newsletter and for social media. So I came up with this crazy idea of coming up with a challenge for our clubs so they could submit to me their content. So that's the background behind it. So, and it grew. And for the last 5 years, we've run this challenge in 5870 and 4 years for 5810 and 5840. The bigger question is did it work? So yes, it did. We had at least 50% of our clubs participate in at least 3 of the games. And at least a third to a quarter actually complete all 5 games. So based on that, I would say it's a great engagement of how to get your clubs to interact with the district. So for the Membership Olympics, Alex has sent you a PDF form that talks about which each ones are the games and how to set this up on your own website. I'm going to share here with you one that is actually live. District 5840 with DMC Kristen Salazar has asked me to implement the Membership Olympics for that district. So let me change my screen. So now I'm going to share with you where there is one of these Membership Olympics live. This is on the District 5840 website. So if you were to go to rotary5840.org and go to the membership tab, you will find both the Membership Olympics, the games itself, and the scoreboard. Click on Olympics. So we set this up the other day. On one side of the page, we have the links for tips and resources to be able to implement the games. In the middle, we have the graphic itself with a deadline we've added on there. And if you scroll towards the bottom, we have included the submission links. And we also included some prizes. For the submission links inside of the documentation that was sent out to everybody, you can either use an email address, and also you could use a jot form. I recommend using a jot form. It is the best practices that I use over at for all my districts for collecting content for my stories for the newsletter and social media. So for 3 of these, the membership goals, survey, and the member engagement activity, we've used a form. The rest of them are all through emails. So for JotForm, this is the third-party software. And you can get 5 forms for free on this website, or you can apply for the nonprofit discount and get it for half price. And this is, since it is a third-party software, I believe this qualifies for one of the items that RI says that you can use your $500 for if you complete the leadership training. To set up this on the pages or to set this up on your own website, again, it's going to require 2 pages. You will need to create the submission links, the hyperlinks to the forms or the email addresses. And you will also need to, or I recommend, putting some resources along the side for clubs to be able to complete the games. So one of the things, so I'm guessing at this point you're wondering whether, should I really run this membership Olympics? Is this something for me? Well, what I can do is tell you is that your clubs are already engaging in this activity. They just haven't reported it to you. So if you were to come up here to our membership Olympics scoreboard, mind you, the first 2 games were first to report your membership chair, and the second one was to upload your membership goals into Rotary Club Central. Well, if you look at our scoreboard, I would say we have at least 75%, if not 80% of our clubs have completed game number 1 and game number 2. So all that is left really for this challenge is the three last games and the bonus rounds. And what you're asking them to do is just to report it to you. So I'd say the engagement, you're actually showing it. So all it is, it's left up to the marketing.
Okay, I believe that's the end of the video. One of the things that we wanted to make sure that you understand too is that we have a person here who's actually done it and been successful with it. So I'm going to actually turn it over to Krista. Let me stop the share here and have her discuss exactly why she decided to do it and the outcome. Kristen.
All right, thanks, Lloyd. I am looking at some of the comments and the questions and stuff coming in on the chat, so I'm trying to help out with some of that too. I know Patricia, you had asked about the $500, so I don't have the flyer from this year, and Alex, I don't know if you do either, but if I can find the one, I do have it from last Rotary year to give you information about that, because you are, as DMC, eligible for a $500 reimbursement from Rotary International for certain things you do as district membership chair. But getting back to the membership Olympics, so one of our past district governors, Christy Vandenberg, is on this call, and she's also coming in and replacing me as DMC this year. So thank you to Christy for doing that. But I really have to tip my hat off to her because last Rotary year, she really spearheaded our efforts to create a membership challenge. And we put it together maybe a little bit too late. And we've kind of learned from some of our mistakes last year. We gave our club membership chairs about 2 months to go through and complete the challenge. And even though we only gave them 2 months, we still had clubs actively participate in the challenge. We even had 5 clubs complete the challenge. And as a reward, we purchased for them a banner that they could use at public events. It's a big vinyl banner that's got their club name on it. It has their club website. If they don't use the club website, which unfortunately, I mean, it's 2023, some clubs don't, but we've got their social media hashtags and whatnot on there. And then in big letters off to the side, it says, "Ask me about Rotary." So it's a way to grab the attention of the public when you're out there at events. And it was great to have these different clubs participate in our challenge. Our main goal was to get the clubs to retain and recruit members. And all 5 clubs that participated in our challenge last year, they ended the year with a positive increase. And that was our main intent, right? So yes, Alex has thrown up his hands. That's the success of this. You're not going to have all clubs that want to participate. And, we understand the struggles with trying to get clubs engaged, but this is a way to kind of give them a step-by-step process to work on retention, to work on recruitment, and try to make it fun. So this year, Pam and I were talking and she had put together the membership Olympics, and we were all over that with our District 5840 membership committee. We knew we wanted to do it again because we saw the success in such a short period of time last Rotary year. So I kind of piggybacked off of, what Pam put together, and I put the direct link in the chat for you guys to be able to go to our challenge. We sat down and we talked about, okay, what incentive do we want to give clubs to work towards completing this challenge? And we even asked the club membership chairs, right? Because we don't want to sit here and make these decisions for everybody else. So if I want to incentivize people to do something, I want to know what they want. And some of our club membership chairs came back and said, hey, you know, it would be great if we could get money to use at Russell Hampton. Because Russell Hampton, you can purchase a lot of brand material from there for your club. And especially some of these smaller clubs, they just don't have the financial capacity to be able to go, you know, purchase these things on their own. So that's what we've done this year. We've got, you know, they have to complete different levels. If they complete the whole thing, great, but there's still an incentive for clubs to try to work through this. As I mentioned earlier, you know, last year when we did it, we just gave the clubs 2 months to participate. And so this year we wanted to make sure we could roll it out as soon as possible. And initially we're talking about September, you know, Olympics coming up and whatnot. And then we realized the other day, oh, wait, August is membership and new club development mode. What a better time to launch our membership challenge. And that's what we did. We've gone through and the challenge has been launched and we already have clubs who are actively participating. We'll go throughout the year and remind the clubs about it so that they don't forget there's that challenge to go through and do. But we're excited to see what happens at the end of this. I know we're going to have clubs who participate and they will see an increase in their membership by the end of the year. So again, that's the goal of the challenge, is to kind of create a fun way for people to work towards the work almost of being a membership chair, right? And trying to get people to come into the club. And most importantly, like Lloyd said, to stay in the club, because retention is really key to our survival as Rotarians right now. So I know I told Lloyd I can hang back a little bit after the presentation today in case anybody's got questions, and I'll keep going through and trying to monitor the chat as well, because I know we've got some more stuff to share from Pam also.
Kristen, thank you very much for that. There will be a question.
If I could interject real quick, Lloyd, I want to interject before Kristen, just to let everybody know, they're the only Texas district that had a membership gain, and they're the only district that utilized the membership Olympics, and that was only the last 2 months of the Rotary year. So, hey, success, you can't ask for anything better than a testimony on what's going to work. Go for
it. You're stealing my thunder now, Alec, but you're absolutely right. One of the key components too, also, that we've learned over, especially during the pandemic, is how important it is to engage our members, how important it is to have engagement. And this is one of the tools that you can use to actually engage your members. So let's go back to Pam and talk about exactly how do you market this? How do you get your members and your clubs to actually get involved here? So, if I can find it.
While we're waiting, if you know Pam, wish her happy birthday.
Yes, and also I would like to note that my birthday was yesterday too.
Oh, happy birthday, Lloyd.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's interesting that.
While you're doing this, want me to throw up a screen share and you can take over when you get the video going?
Okay.
For those that want to know what we're talking about, we put the PDF in earlier, but these are the membership Olympics. This is the generic version that every district has been provided, because we've met with every district. You have a copy of the file. What District 5840 did, they customized it, made it their own. They actually made it look better, more exciting. If you took a look at their website, gave each game a separate name. We encourage you to do that. But as I mentioned, I still need to make up time, Lloyd.
No.
These are things that are going to help your club. This is a club level thing. The competition would happen at the district level, but whether your district is doing the competition or not, your club can do this. Like right now, they don't need anybody to encourage them to do it. You know, appoint a membership chair, define a goal, you know, survey your club. Those are really what we would like every club to do. And if a district motivates you, that makes it even better. Get something for being a great club. How you doing, Lloyd?
Okay, let's try this again. Okay.
So now I'm going to
And
talk
you
to
see
you about
that?
the marketing campaign for the Membership Olympics. So for any campaign to be successful, you need to market it on all of your available channels. And I would also think about adding in some incentive for a prize at the end of the campaign. So for 5840 last year, we had the clubs, if they completed the challenge, then they were able to earn a banner, which the district designed for them, that had their club logo on it. And it had a saying on it that said, you know, learn more about Rotary, with their website address on it. So those are ideas that you can do to make your campaign successful. So for the marketing part of it, I would suggest or recommend an email campaign. I would put articles inside the newsletter, and I would also put the word out on social media. The next, for the email campaign, who would I send this out to? You would go out to your club presidents and to your membership chairs. How often? I would do it every 6 to 8 weeks. You want to keep it out in front of them to remind them. You want to change up the message, right? Next, for your newsletter article, how often would you put one in the newsletter? I would do it once a quarter. Again, making sure that it stays in front of them and reminds them. On social media, how often? Every 6 to 8 weeks. You could just put up a post that talks about the Membership Olympics and where to learn more. Suggest topics for your content for inside of your emails and in your newsletter and for social media. I would talk about the rollout itself. I would mention club surveys where they can find information. I would talk about a member engagement activity to remind them to submit their content. I know there's one of the last game is to participate in a retention workshop. So you might go ahead and advertise that to join that workshop, because I know that Alex is going to have one. And then you put a reminder out there, like, you know, our deadline is coming up on May 1st, but I would do that more towards the end of the campaign. So to get better engagement, ask your DG for support and to talk about the promotion. So it can't just be you. You need your district governor behind you. You need to be consistent with your marketing campaign. Note that it takes 8 exposures for most concepts to sink in, and you should offer prizes. And lastly, here is my name and my contact information, Pam Blankensee, and this is my email address. If you do not want to set up this campaign by yourself, you can always hire me to do that for you. The cost to set up that campaign is included in the PDF. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Pam. You can see the cost of the, if you want Pam to actually set this up for you in the PDF, but I'm going to be nice enough to tell you it's $750. And we're now at that stage of our webinar where I'd like for Alex to come on one more time to just sort of wrap everything up and give us some direction on where he thinks we should go. Alex?
Perfect. Hello, everybody again. I'm going to start off with what the Olympics is. Every district has this. So if you have a question, if your district is doing it, contact your district membership chair or your district governor, because they all have this PDF as well. And we've talked about it with them.
Can't go out 2 days, 2 days, not most of the day.
The significance of this is once again, this is your weapon to attack retention at the club level. I mean, that's what this is. These are all club level activities. And so whether or not your district is doing this as a contest, it doesn't matter. Your club can do it. If you're a member of your club, just talk to your club president, talk to your membership chair and say, hey, let's start doing some of these activities. I also encourage you to talk to your governor or talk to your district membership chair and say, hey, create a competition. Because if you think of what these items are, having a membership chair is not that complicated. If you don't, the president's got to do it themselves. So that starts at the basic level. You'd be surprised that less than 20% of Rotary clubs have a membership chair. Well, when you think about that, that explains why in our zone pair, only 21% of the clubs have a club goal. So we're saying just, hey, go to Club Central, pick a goal. If in doubt, do net zero. If a club ends the year that they began, it'll be a banner year. It doesn't have to be aggressive. Survey your club. Talk to your district membership chair. They have access to accessibility tools. Rotary is now making them available electronically, Google Forms. So you can email, text your club members to find out what they feel about the club. People won't leave if they think you're listening to their concerns. Game 4, just do something other than a club meeting and a fundraiser. We're saying just do a personal growth activity, leadership development, a community service project, heaven forbid, do service or do networking. I mean, that's the easiest thing to do. Have a happy hour for your club. Just get engaged with the members. Then number 5 is really where you're going to make your impact. When you do your survey, we used to call it club assembly. Have a meeting that all you're going to talk about is, hey, club, when we did that survey a couple of weeks ago, this is the result. This is what you're saying. This is where you say the concerns are. This is what we want to work on. And then ask them, what do you think we can do to change, to address those concerns? When somebody leaves Rotary, it's because they're unhappy with the club. They don't feel heard or they're angry about the direction of the club. Well, let them be a part of the club. Ask them, get them involved. If someone's involved, they're most likely not going to leave. So we're asking that our clubs do this. It's great if a district does a competition, but with or without your district, every club can do this. The bonus round, number 6, we're just saying, have your club membership chair, because you have one in game 1, do the basic learning plan. So at least they kind of get a little guidance. And then game 7, that's where you're going to grow your club. Start a service companion club. If you want to know more about that, ask your district membership chair, or you can also do our webinar next month, which is about the service companion club. That grows existing clubs. So I kind of want to say, talk to your club president, your membership chair to start implementing the games now. You don't need the district to tell you to do it or ask you to do it to have a competition. Appoint a club chair, have a goal, survey your club, do an engagement activity, conduct a retention workshop, get a little training, and start a service companion club. I guarantee you, this is not an idle statement. If your club does everything on this list, they're going to have a good year. You're going to get more than what you started at, I guarantee. Steps 1 through 5 will keep your members. Step 7 is going to get you new members. So with that, we are now going to turn it over to Q&A. And I'm going to turn it back over to our webinar team leader, Lloyd, and he will lead that up.
You know, I muted myself during that whole process. It's interesting, this, we practiced this and we thought this would take a little more than an hour, but I see that we've been able to go through this in a less amount of time. So do you have any questions concerning this engagement opportunity?
Yes, I do.
Oh, please, yes.
Okay. Our club, we usually have each week personalized, meaning the first week is a person that comes and gives us our, I'm sorry, I'm thinking in Spanish, a speaker. We have a speaker. Then always the second Tuesday, our meetings are on Tuesday of the month, that is our social. where we have, that we invite our noon club as well, to have a nice time in different projects or in different places. Then, just in case, sometimes if we don't get, or we're not able to get a speaker, we do our community service, but usually we have one done in our meeting and another one done with public, that we go out and do it. And once every quarter, there's 5 weeks in a month, and that's when we have an assembly. So that's the time that where we come and talk about things that we need to be helping out, things that they want to do, talk about the next quarter, what activities we have, and see if they really like it or not. So it's a way for us to be more engaged with our members. So I'm not sure if, in a way, we are doing what it was just shown.
Well, are you surveying your members, a formal survey, and everybody's responded?
Yes, we do.
Then talk about that at your club, and then more importantly, get their feedback on how you could change your club. Because I'm
Okay.
assuming if you're losing members, it's because they're not happy. So that survey will find out why your members are unhappy before they leave, and then have your club make changes based on what the feedback is.
Well, we lost 3, but really they're still in Rotary because we're in evening and they went to the noon due to their work. So they said that it was much more easier for them to go at noon than at evening because they have kids, they have other things that they have to do with them. So they just changed and they went to the noon club. Here in Ankeny, in Iowa, both clubs, we consider ourselves just one club together, even if we are all separate, but we do activities together, do that. We do not want to go to you, the noon club, and ask you for your help. And then we come over and ask you again and saying, oh, but this one came already. So we just work in the big projects together.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. And one of the things that I noticed when you're describing what your club is actually doing, you're doing a lot of things that the Olympic is actually asking you to do. Now, do you have a membership chair
Yes, we do.
and goals already?
Yes, we sure do.
Oh, wow. You're
Since
a
we
third of
were,
the way there.
since we were a satellite club, well, we were a satellite club 9 years ago, but 4 years ago, we started with the chairs. So we've been having all the chairs available, and the membership club has been one of our good ones. Because we were 30 members for chartering, and now we have 28 because we got a new one, and right now there may be 2 more coming and another one probably in October.
Excellent. You guys are doing really well. Good job, Anna.
Thank you.
I noticed
great.
there's some questions in chat. Let me go through and respond to some of those, just so people don't feel they're left out. There was a question asking, how is this different than the roadmap? Well, the roadmap is a strategy for the district level for the entire year in membership, and that's essential. This is a club level activity. These are things the club will do. Now, it'd be great if a district offers a competition to give them a rewards, but basically the roadmap is for the district to have a membership strategy. The Olympics basically is given a strategy for clubs. One of the other questions, they're asking about the $500. I think Christian kind of addressed it. Rotary, for those that don't know, Rotary offers a $500 incentive program for district membership chairs. If they take the district membership committee intermediate learning plan, then they qualify for the reimbursement. And as Pam mentioned, you could use it to pay for jot forms, Zoom, banners. I think Kristen mentioned, there's a lot of reasons that's what district membership chair, I encourage all of them to take that training and get that reimbursement. Some of the other questions is John Curtis, District Governor John Curtis, 5810 said, how does service land in this? Well, I can't remember, game 4 or 5 engagement activity. And one of those items was community service. And we just want clubs to do something. Service is obviously what we really would like, but if it's networking, we want to do networking. If it's personal development, leadership development, we want clubs to do more than a club meeting and a fundraiser. And that's basically everything else, and have them do those. That would qualify for the engagement perspective. Any other questions? Patricia McLeese. Oh. Yes.
I think Rhea has her hand up.
Thank you. So my name's Ray Saldana. I'm the membership chair for the Oak Hills Rotary San Antonio. Since we just got recognized, I would like to extend an invite to everybody. We are having our social this Thursday at Postino's at the Rim at 6 o'clock. If anybody wants to come, we'll, kind of share what we do to kind of keep our membership. It's always good to, talk to other clubs. So I don't know if it was appropriate to mention that, but I wanted to extend that invite to everybody.
Excellent. Well, one of the
Fellowship is
other
always
questions,
important.
one of the other questions I received in chat is, actually, it's a statement for one of our district governors, Patricia McLeese. She says this needs to be shared, promoted at the district level, and it would be great for president-elect training during PETS. I agree. Basically what she's saying is these are basic elements for a club from a membership perspective. And yes, at PETS, it's a good time to introduce you to your presidents, plan their year to do these activities. And it keeps it simple. What? Janet Livingston, what about re-engage members that left? Yes, Rotary has always suggested conducting exit interviews. We do that. I encourage all clubs to do that. What this is trying to do is catch them before they leave. Specifically, as we all know, we lose members in November, December, and May and June. So start talking to them before they're ready to leave and get your club engaged with them. So hopefully we have less people to interview during our exit interviews, because majority of people, once they're checked out, they're not going to respond to the exit interviews anyway. But definitely talk to people when they say they want to leave and find out what their challenges were. So hopefully you don't repeat them. Any other, I'm kind of reading through what's in chat.
Alex, it's Patrick. I have a quick comment, if I may. Alex is a little bit humble, so I'm gonna raise him up and give him his flowers for his club when he was president during his term in 5810. He was the club for the district to try and assimilate to, with his the acts that he did as president. Speaking to service, he was able, I'd like him to speak to how he used service projects to grow his club significantly in membership.
To be real brief about it, because your district membership chairs and our assistant Rotary coordinators are well in tune with this. Basically, the more service you're going to do, the easier it's going to be attract people to your club if you allow the community to volunteer with you. So what Patrick's talking about, Plano West Rotary a number of years ago, they grew from 21 to 63 in the Rotary year. And that was through doing 6 service projects a month, small, fun, but impactful. And we invited the community to volunteer with us. Then they were joining our club at the tune of 4 members a month. And yes, we did invoice and bill. We terminate people that don't pay, but the point is they stayed in Rotary because they wanted to serve. And that's really, I appreciate that, Patrick, but it's something every club could do an engagement activity and serve. I think we have Kent Greer, my friend, Mr. IPDG, Kent Greer. What do you have to say?
Well, what I'd like to say is I'm excited about the idea that you have a membership development engagement that is formed around specific things that club members can do. Not every membership development project or system actually attracts and builds membership or stops losing people through, does an effective job at retention. But I can think of, and this goes back quite a while ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, we had a program that was pretty extensive with a score sheet that had specific things in which points were gained by members in the club level as a membership development tool, not just setting goals and organizing committees and engaging a few things, but specific things that people could do to gain points. And this is a program that we basically took from California, and it's called Ignite. And I was serving on the team with Debbie High at the time, and we actually continue to have about 14 clubs out of 50 that continue to use Ignite. And every year, Helen Peters last year and the year before has monitored that and given awards to, and we've got a really cool award that we give to clubs that are actually effective in building membership. So I think that having a program to do, knowing that it's been beta tested as Pam has done, is a very, very good thing for us to engage. Because if you don't have a structure in place to give to your members, then they really don't have anything that they know how to implement that will work. Emphasizing and encouraging and making it fun, recognizing people for when they do the steps that need to be done really does work. So having something is better than nothing, but having something that's organized and well understood and promoted is very effective. For membership, apply it to service projects, apply it to grant writing, apply it to whatever you're doing. If you have something that's structured, people can get excited about, understand what to do, they get led into success.
Thank
So
you,
thank you.
Ken. Do we have any additional questions? Don't be shy, people. I'll pick on people, so you guys better speak up. Ray, do you have another question? I see your hand up. No? Aha. Well, I'm trying to think of what additional questions we have. Well, this is what I want to know is, can I see a show of verbal hands of who's going to go to their club and start doing some of these activities like now? Thank you. Go to your district membership chair and see if your district will do it as a competition. So by the time they get it, you've already done half the task. That's even better. But this whole goal is we want to give our clubs actionable, immediate items can do. In fact, district membership chair Angela Walker, we were talking on Sunday, and she asked me a question. How long would it reasonably take for a club to do all these activities? And thinking through it from her club, 30 days. 30 days to get everything done. These are not difficult. Get a chair, have a goal, survey your club. You could do that in a week. I mean, especially electronically, and then have a club assembly to talk about it, have an event, take that training. That training at the club level is maybe about 30 minutes online. The most challenging thing is to start a service companion club. It's a service-focused satellite club. You need to start with 8 members. It's really not that difficult to do once you guys see that webinar next month. So this is something we'd like to see every club do, whether or not your district does a competition. We would love district leadership to create a competition. Kristen talked about, they did it the last 2 months of the Rotary year. Every club that did it ended with a positive. And obviously that's why their district ended with a positive. And so it works. Any other, Kristen, can I throw you out in the wolves before we leave?
You can. So I just real quick, I see a lot of chat about kind of how to end the challenge, right? Let's not forget, we're in Rotary and you've got that unofficial number 5 of the 4-way test. Is it fun? Make sure you create a fun environment to, reward the clubs that finish the challenge. I think some people in here are talking about, you know, pushing it at pets, letting all the PEs know about it so they can get their membership chairs excited about it, and then doing an awards ceremony at their district conference. That's definitely something I'm looking to do. And for that reason, we are ending our challenge at the end of May. That way we have enough time to get all of that prepped. So that way we can get the awards out to everybody during the current Rotary year. Because I've still, Oak Hills, Ray, I know you were talking earlier, I'm coming to visit your club next week. That is the last banner that I have to give out from last Rotary year. So I've been physically going around to all these clubs, and it's been a lot of fun to see the excitement that the entire club has, because they know they all came together to contribute to completing that challenge and ending the year in the positive. So don't forget, you know, yeah, we need to push for people to go through and do the challenge, do the Olympics. But when you wrap it up, make that fun and make it exciting, because those clubs are going to come back and participate again next year.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen. I've seen a number of comments asking about the district membership chair reimbursement program. Let me point out, only the district membership chair can do the activities to qualify and then submit for the reimbursement. So I just put it in chat, but I know all our DMCs have this because I've talked to all of them. And so they're the ones that matter. Everybody else just implement the Olympics in your club and encourage your district to create a competition so you could get rewarded for it. Lloyd, any other questions?
Okay, is there anything else that, any other comments we'd like to make here? One of the things I want to mention here is that next month, we're actually going to talk about the Companion Club. This is something Alex has brought up, and there's been some discussion about that. And I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. So
Wait, Lloyd, wait, I saw a hand before you end. Chris Richter, is it still up? Okay.
Yeah, Chris Richter. I'm the co-chair with Ray for Oak Hills Rotary. We're new to it, but one of the things that we challenged ourselves on was to not only grow our membership, but see how other clubs in our area are doing in their clubs. So we're partnering with the La Cantera Club, and we're doing a member appreciation night at Painting with a Twist. So it's something different, something fun for them to kind of open up and do. But we've also talked about doing a trivia night between us, La Cantera, and the Dominion Club. So it gets 3 clubs together, all to participate, you know, to bring our members together to have some fun and make it challenging. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
Excellent, thank you.
Excellent.
I see a request out of the chat. Will past district governor and innovative club advocate, Deb McCaslin, you want to talk about how your district had the highest membership gain of all 23 districts last year?
We're on Rotary International's naughty list because we have fallen below the necessary numbers. And so when you're on the naughty list, you have to take evasive action. So one of the things we did is we put out a challenge to our clubs, and we tried to base it on best practices. And we did this last July. And really, if we looked at the best practices that we challenged them with, they mirror the Olympics. I'm really excited to see this have this name Olympics, because what we did just was really almost the same thing. We told each club that if they would select 13 of the goals that were set out by Rotary International on the, you know, the club list thing, and also you had to have your leadership in place. You had to have a foundation chair, a membership chair, and a public information chair, as long as with your others. And if you had all of this in place, and then you did through and you did your club assessments, and you came back and did a visioning with your club, those clubs that did it, we presented a $300 check at our April conference, because they were using the best practices. And we have 29 clubs. Like I said, we're a small district, small in numbers, and we had 21 out of 29 clubs finish all of that. And these 21 clubs that finished it ended up positive in growth. And then at the end in July 1, if you had a 10% growth increase in your club, and so you have to take care of your nutrition, you have to take care of the people that move and all that kind of stuff. But if you had a 10% growth, then we gave them an additional $200. If you had a 5% growth, you had additional $100. And when you're meeting with clubs who are 10 and 12 members big, you're going, okay, what really is 5%? What is 10%? And when they realized that it really wasn't that much, they went out and got it done. It was kind of expensive. We set aside $8,000 to do this challenge at the district level. And I spent almost $9,000 because so many clubs completed it. And then we also had the club who had the largest percentage of growth. And we did a percentage so that the small clubs could compete with the big clubs. They got a $500 bonus. And so they really walked away with quite a bit of money. And if you ended up second, you had a $300 bonus. And it was just, and the governor this next year has agreed to do it again because it was working. And so we'll see what happens next year with putting this in. And I loved it because it was all based on best practices. And that's what this Olympics is best practices. The only thing that is different is the companion club between the two things that we did. And I just don't see that as difficult because the clubs that were really succeeding in all this were building their companions out there anyway. And they were having a lot of fun doing it. And none of the ones that completed all this, all of those that completed this were also took a strong look at a couple of other things. They took a strong look at how much are our dues? Are our dues currently higher than we can bring people in? So these clubs also turned around and reassessed and relooked at dues. Not any of the 21 clubs are meeting every week anymore. They're meeting maybe twice a month with a service project or an outing or something else. But I just looked at the Olympics and looked at what we did. They are parallel. We just called it something different. And I so can walk across the district with this Olympics and across the 3 districts we're working with that I've been assigned. I think it's a great product and I'm loving it.
Thank you, Deb. So
Oh,
you guys
wow.
have heard from 2 districts that succeeded last year. I mean, it hands down. And they both said those that did these best practice activities were the clubs that had a positive gain. So if you're not a district leader, it doesn't matter. It's your club. Have your club do these best practice activities. And like I said, I guarantee you're going to have a good year. Well, we have 2 districts that said, well, they have quantitative proof. Their clubs that did it last year had a positive gain. You can't speak any better than that. One other thing I want to comment, because I know Lloyd wants me to shut up, is think about what Deb's district did, 5630. She was governor when they did it. They actually financially rewarded their clubs for doing the best practice activities. Those in district leadership, you know what your annual budget is. It's a lot more than $8,000 or $9,000. Well, let's think about what the number one priority in Rotary is. Deb will tell you is when a Rotary gets merged, they don't look at your foundation giving. They don't look at your public image or youth services. They look at the number of Rotarians you have. That's what makes or breaks your district. And that's what pays our Rotary bills. That's 85% of the revenue our organization has. So to put money to reward your clubs to be successful, that's just putting your money where it counts. It makes a lot of sense. So I encourage either at the club level or district level, think about what your priorities are. There's only one reason your district will be terminated. That's because your membership gets low. If you want to ask how serious that is, talk to Deb at 5630. When she said naughty, it just means they have to get their district membership up to a certain level by the end of this Rotary year, or else they will be merged. So they're putting their money where their mouth is. Every club that competed, they had a positive gain and they had the #1 performing district in our zone pair. So I think, amen, Chuck. You can't ask, success is the only thing you can look at if you want to know what to do. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to our webinar leader, Lloyd.
Well, thank you, Alex. One of the things I'm going to mention before we end this meeting, because we're going to end it on time, is that what Deb talked about, not only was it talking about the Olympics, but it also talked about our Rotary Action Plan. She talked about how they adapted, how they got their members engaged, how they reached out and did different things, and the impact that they had on their members too, and the community. So, because we have no more questions and it is 5 minutes before, I'm going to ask Alex to stop the recording. If anyone would like to stay around for the next few minutes, Kristen says she will stay around to address any concerns, and we will stay around for at least a few minutes to address any concerns that you might have concerning membership. And I want to thank you again for being a part of this. And also remember, next month, we're going to talk about companion clubs. This is a monthly event, third Tuesday of the month from 6 to 7 o'clock. So thanks again for being here.